Looks like I'm recording, so cool. Alright guys, well, you know why you're here. Welcome to Blazing Bullets. Got a Steyr review for you today, but I kind of just wanted to start it off in Fallout. This new game I got called Fallout. I don't know how many of you guys are into gaming, but you know, when I'm not slaving over school, that's kind of what I like to do, and just figured I'd kind of just start the game, or start the video in game. Not gonna play it because it's probably too loud for you guys, but my computer, that is, with all the fans and stuff. But yeah, so we got a review on a gun that I recently picked up about a month ago now, and it's a sweetie. Alright, got the bolt lock back, and we are clear. Yeah, I picked this up. You guys are probably noticing already. It's white. This is what Steyr calls their Snow Ghost edition. I decided with this firearm to go ahead and go with a optic. This is the 3-power scope, and I'll take the caps off. You know, I wasn't sure at first whether or not I wanted to go ahead and do it, but I went ahead and I did it because, knowing me, I would end up, you know, throwing iron sights on it and it would never see an optic. I really would like one of the Aimpoint T1 micros, but you know, I think this is kind of neat. I mean, this is technically like a carry handle. You know, it does come with the Picatinny rail on the top of the optic. You know, just it's kind of strange. I don't know who would kind of use it, but there's actually, I don't know if you can see right there, 2 dots, almost like, you know, just backup. But you could also, if you were so inclined, throw a like little holographic sight on the top, you know, like an EOTech or Aimpoint T1 micro, maybe a well, you wouldn't want to really throw a Trijicon ACOG on here because it's pretty much the same power as this scope. But before I go ahead and kind of break down some of the stuff, the features with this gun, I kind of wanted to tell you about a bad experience I had with Steyr. I did go ahead and order this off of Gunbroker because this was a limited run and I wanted to get it kind of quick. And you really don't see, this is kind of one of those things that you might see it in a gun shop if you're lucky, but they go real fast. And it's kind of like the same thing with niche guns. I know the Dan Wesson Valor, that was something that I wouldn't have really found in my shop, my local shop, who is, you know, Duke Sports Shop. Giving them a shout out. They're some cool guys. But, you know, it's something I probably would have never seen there, and I just went ahead and got it. But when I ordered it, this was mid-November, when it got to me, I was pumped up. Me and my dad went to the shop and pulled it out of the box, and the first thing that I noticed about it, it looked like it was covered in like cardboard, you know, like remnants of cardboard and stuff. And I kind of picked it up and I was thinking to myself, oh wow, this is kind of, you know, dirty. I wiped it off, and I noticed that like the white was stained. I don't know if you guys can see that, pick up on that real good or not, but it's definitely there. It's noticeable. Even the guys behind the counter were kind of questioning it a bit. You know, mostly on this side here. But yeah, and believe it or not, guys, this is a replacement stock. I emailed the guy. Like I said, he's a Steyr gunsmith employee. Real nice guy. He was real cool. You know, he didn't have a 3-power spare. He didn't have one of these in the white already assembled with the 3-power optic. So what he did for me was he took a 3-power optic off of, you know, one of the black, or maybe I think they have a green or a OD green or something like that color. He took one off of there and stuck it on there for me, and I appreciated it. So he sent me a new stock, and the thing looked exactly the same. No other blemishes on the gun. Everything else is flawless. I took the barrel out at the shop, inspected it with a light. I could tell that it really wasn't fired, and don't know what to say about it. And the reason why I didn't clean it for you guys is because one of the things we wanted to do with this channel is, we don't want to hold back. We have our manufacturers, that we really like. Smith & Wesson is one of them. Their customer service will treat you right, and that was one of the big things. That's one of the big things when you buy a firearm. You want to know that the company that you're buying it from has your back. So, but that was kind of that. I kind of think that I can. This will come off. It definitely will come off. I'm probably gonna have to use, maybe some Breakthrough or Simple Green, and Magic Eraser. Gunsmith essential tool. But let's break it down. So let me start off by showing you guys one thing. This is a bullpup, and one of the advantages of a bullpup is they're extremely short. I don't, we'll pipe it into the video here. I don't know the exact length of this gun, but this is a normal sized 16-inch barrel, and it pops out really easy. I mean, there's like the size of your standard AR-15 barrel, and that's what's left. I don't know if you guys noticed how I got that out of there, but it's super cool. I don't know how necessary it would be. I mean, I know that, like, if you were in the military, Australian military uses this firearm. If you were shooting it like as a machine gun, light machine gun, and you're on the front lines and your barrel got super hot, you might want to swap it out. And that's a really cool way to do it. All you have to do, lock the slide back. There's a little button. I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, right there. All you do is push it down as you turn, and you'll kind of feel it disengage. I didn't press it down all the way though, so it's going to give me trouble. There we go, and that comes right out. And all right, so you guys let me rudely allowed me to forget. One of the things that I didn't do that I should have done when I took this apart actually was instead of locking just the bolt back, the reason why I didn't release everything was because I didn't have it locked all the way back. That's kind of a quirk about this gun, is that there's a locking tab. Let me show you guys before I do it. There's a locking kind of slot or notch back here, and you can lock the bolt back one of two ways. The first is to hit this this catch back here, which is actually pretty cool because if you haven't, say you run out in your mag, you drop the mag, and then you want to drop the bolt. Instead of reaching up and grabbing the charging handle and just ripping it back, all you have to do is hit this bolt release and boom, drops it right down. But when you're like going to disassemble it, you want to kind of get it back in this notch, so I'll do that. And I got it the first try that time. Drop the barrel up and push the takedown pin in. Be careful, I'm holding this with my hand. Alright, get that out, there we go. And just pull out the internals here. You got, just your simple bolt and everything. I've actually had this all apart. It's actually super easy to take apart. To get the trigger assembly out of the gun, like I said before, all you do is kind of push in this pin. As you're pressing this pin here, you're pressing the detent on the back. And mine is still really stiff, so there we go. Pull the butt plate out. And one cool thing about this firearm is that the trigger assembly, everything in here, yeah, except for the spring, which is a pretty heavy duty spring in there. I don't know if you guys can see that real good. It's all polymer, and there's some people out there, excuse me, that are concerned about, polymer stuff and braking and, welcome to the 21st century. Polymer is nothing new, but I think we as shooters in general have learned to trust it a lot more. And this is a rifle that is known for its reliability, so can't beat it. And like I was telling you guys before, this thing came dirty. It's dirty all in here. I don't know how many times they test fired this from the factory, or what's going on. I mean, I realize that it's white, but I don't know. But I still wouldn't change the color. One of the things about this gun that one of the reasons it attracted me to the white version, and I like my black guns, is that it's going to have its good resale value. I will never resell it, most likely, but it's just one of those things where I saw it as kind of like an investment, and I don't regret it at all. In fact, if you guys can pick one up, I would suggest doing so. It's especially if you don't want the white one, just get an AUG. I mean, bullpups. I never thought much of them at first, but when I started doing more research. And by the way, this whole procedure is just the reverse of what I just did. So, the way you guys saw me take it apart is the way it goes together, just reverse. The only thing that I didn't actually take apart was the piston, the gas piston here, and it's simple. You basically just turn it and pops right out. You actually have to use something to poke it out with. I've seen a lot of guys use just the rails inside to poke the piston out with. But not really necessary for right now. It's not dirty enough for me to worry about it. It also comes with a light rail on the side here. And I actually, one of the cool things about this gun too that you can do is, and I didn't put the butt plate on, silly me, as I was talking, is you can go ahead and just take the whole trigger assembly out of the gun without ever taking off the barrel or anything like that. It just comes right out. I thought that was pretty neat. One thing that a lot of companies like Glock and stuff like that has proven is that you don't need like a ton of complicated internal parts, to have something that's high quality or functions well. Simple is always good. Some of the things that I don't like about the gun is one of them is this safety is like a dagger on your finger. I don't know if you guys can see that right there very well, but that's a sharp edge on that thing, and I've kind of practiced just a little bit with like pushing it in isn't so bad with your thumb, but when you're coming down with this finger to push it, your trigger finger to push it in, I've noticed like I've caught the corners a couple times, and I've heard of a couple of guys filing it down. I mean, I could, but I really don't want to file a brand new gun. Replacing the part wouldn't be too easy or too hard if I ever wanted to do it, but I don't know. I kind of like to try to live with the controls that I'm given, on a gun, and not mess with them too much. The foregrip here actually is pretty cool. You just pull it down and it folds in. Do not shoot this gun with that grip folded up like that. This is mostly for storage and things like that. If you go ahead and go to, I've seen people do stranger things. If you try to shoot this gun like this, it's not going to be fun for you. I wouldn't recommend it. But, pretty cool that it folds in like that. I've heard a lot of talk about people say they don't like the trigger, and I was kind of nervous about it. But I got it, and I wanted to. One of the things that I've been slacking doing on my reviews is testing the trigger out for you guys on video, and I just figured that I'd do it. I've heard a lot of hate on the forums for the trigger on this firearm and the Tavor. More on the Tavor later, by the way. People kind of complain about them both, so the Tavor, I think, than the AUG. But you know, I like it. It's worked pretty good in my dry firing. Now, when you get it to the range, it's a different story because, you know, you wanna test and see how you can hit with it. But as far as I can tell, and we are clear, it's pretty good. Let's give it a test. All right, so okay, clear. Make sure we're good. Safe direction. Safety off. Okay, 8 pounds. I believe that's 10 ounces, it said. Yeah, 10 ounces. And some of you guys might be saying, oh, wow, 8 pounds, 10 ounces, that's heavy. And it kind of is in a way, but I don't really feel it. I don't know why. If this was a pistol trigger, I kind of would probably be screaming a little bit. But I don't mind it at all. It's very crisp. One of the things that I think kind of helps it out, that one didn't register, I'm not sure why. One of the things that kind of helps the trigger on this gun out, I believe, is the fact that it's smooth, for me. It doesn't have like jagged edges like, you know, the safety or something. Try this one more time. It doesn't have a lot of jagged edges. It's pretty smooth. It fits around my finger well. So I don't mind it at all. Okay, yeah, that one pretty consistent. 8 pounds, 8 ounces. So yeah, I like it. We kind of went on a bullpup, you know, adventure recently. My dad ended up getting Tavor review. We got a review coming to that, and you know, I like them both. They have different things about them that are cool. You know, just like minor differences, and you know, one of the things that I think is cool about, you know, the Tavor is that. And one of the downsides of this gun is actually that if you go to suppress it, because of the location of the, you know, the gas piston, I've seen people say that they're really loud, and in order to make it quiet, you kind of have to get like a replacement piston kit to Ratworks, I believe, makes one to drive up into the to wrap around like the end cap of the suppressor, and to make the you know, the rounds coming out, you know, more quiet and stuff. The Tavor, you know, you basically just slap a suppressor on it and it's ready to go. But one of the advantages that you might, you know, say that this gun has over the Tavor is it has more service. It's had more service life. Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, if you go and look in my fridge, on my fridge over there, I got an IWI sticker, so I have no, you know, stake in the game, but you know, they're both really well respected. But the AUG has been in service for quite a long time now, since I believe the 70s. But I've seen, you know, some IWI tours, and you know how tours and how they make the Tavor, and you know, it seems like, you know, it's up and coming, and it's going to get even bigger. And you know, they have, you know, different versions already in the works in Israel, and you know, I think with the AUG, it's pretty much how much more can you do to it. You've already got, you know, over, you know, 30 years of evolution and whatnot, but you know, not much has changed between the different versions. You know, you got like different optic on this version. You know, they added some accessory rails. You know, you got the one on the top, you got this on the side here, you got, you know, the one for your, you know, flashlight or whatever you want to put there. Let me try to get you guys a better view of this optic. See if I can get you in on that scope. No, not going to be able to do it just the way the camera's set up. But one of the things, and maybe we'll pipe this into the video, is they added like a crosshair. Originally, you know, it was just on the A1s and I believe the A2s as well. It was just like they called it the donut of death, and it was just a circle. And recently I've heard that they've changed manufacturers. They kind of outsource some different stuff. The scope being one of those parts, and they added, with the new manufacturer, they added a crosshair. So it's really just like a bullseye style crosshair, traditional, with the donut in between. And I kind of like the way that it looks. Things will change once I get it to the range, but as far as like how I feel about it right now, compared with something maybe like like the Trigicon ACOG, which is a very similar style, pretty neat, I think. Especially for the price that the ACOG costs. But some other things about this gun that you guys might want to know. It does come with one 30-round mag. This is, you might look at it and think, oh, that's an AR-15 mag, but it's actually not. It's a proprietary mag made by Steyr. It's kind of cool because it has like a locking tab in the back, and it also has, it's really rigid, real sturdy. I like the way that it locks in there. A lot of purists, or not purists, but people who kind of love the AUG, or are diehard Steyr AUG fans. They say they prefer the AUG mags over the AR-15 style. I kind of feel that way myself. Just because it reminds me a lot of the way the AK is designed, the magazines for the AK-47, and also they come, I believe, in 42 rounders and stuff like that, and I think that's really cool. And plus, for me, I don't have any AR-15s. My dad does, and so I wasn't really invested in a bunch of magazines for it. So for that platform. So if you guys are, that would be something that I would look into. Like if you have just a pile of AR mags, they do make a stock for this gun that does accept the AR mags. And also, I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but one of the things you can't really do by default on this gun is shoot left-handed, because the ejection for the firearm is right here, and it has no shell deflector on the back. That's one thing. The next evolution of the bullpup, the Tavor, has that, and it's a lot more lefty friendly. So you can reverse it on this gun, but there is some minor extra work involved with doing it. I definitely would not shoot left-handed with this gun as it stands, but if you really are set on getting one of these, it is possible. And I haven't done it because I don't need to, but I've heard that it's not too bad. You basically just switch this tab over to the other side, and but you do have to buy, I know for a fact, you do have to buy another bolt for the gun, because of the way that it's set up. Anything else that I forgot to mention? No, I think that just about covers it. Oh, one more thing. One thing that's really sweet about this gun, I think, is the with the bullpups, a lot of the bullpups, everything just seems like it's in a good position, at least for me. The magazine release, instead of being on a bullpup, all the trigger, the action and everything is all in the rear. So it's really easy to release the mags, for a quick mag change. And I think it's kind of cool because, when you're firing at the range, you have your mag, it's empty. It's empty, you shot your last round. You take your hand off of the foregrip, you reach back here, pop the mag out, reach, put a new one right back in, and then as soon as you insert the new mag, just pick your hand right up to the bolt release and just drop the bolt. I think that is pretty neat, and it's something that you have to get used to, but I think with some practice, you guys might really like it. But you know, we got more coming with this. We're gonna do some comparisons. I think, you know, pretty soon here, of the Tavor versus the AUG thing. You know, my dad's impressions of both of the guns, and we're gonna have some fun with it. So I hope you guys will stay tuned for that. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, please share, favorite, follow us on Facebook. Always leave us your comments. You know, we love to answer you guys' questions. We're getting better at this, and you know, we're gaining some subscribers, and you know, we're slowly but surely picking up the pace and getting better with things, and we've just mostly been having fun, and that should be the goal with anything. So like I said, leave the comments, ask us anything you want. If you have gun reviews, or a gun that you guys want reviewed, maybe you aren't satisfied with some of the videos that you see on it, you want to know more information about something, leave us a line. If we can get a hold of it, we'll do it for you. And as always, guys, be safe and peace.